Hello everyone, I'm ESL teacher Lisa. Today we're going to talk about commonly confused words in the American English language. I do have a PDF that I'm basing this on. You can get it for free. I'll put the link in the description. We won't be able to do all of them. It also does include a quiz, but we will take a quiz in this video. So let's go over a few, and for the full list you can download the PDF. First up, fewer versus less. Fewer is used when referring to things that can be counted. For example, there are fewer customers than anticipated. So we can count customers, one customer, two customer, three customers. So fewer with things that we can count. Less is used when referring to uncountable and usually abstract nouns. For example, I have less patience than Ted. So we cannot count patients. You cannot say one patience, two patients. No, you cannot. It's a quality. So you can say I have less love or less patience or less hope. So anything that you cannot count where you can say one, two, three, four, if you cannot do that, you have to use less. Effect versus effect. They sound the same. The spelling is similar except for the first letter. Even natives often confuse both of these. We don't really hear the difference when we speak it, but when we write it, of course, we see the difference. So this is more important when we write because we can see the difference. An effect with an E is a result or a consequence, usually a noun. Effect may also function as a verb, meaning to bring about something. So these two example sentences really give us the point. The loud music had a big effect on the baby. So that means it made the baby cry or fuss. So because we had this loud music, the result or the consequence is that the baby cried. Or the medicine will take effect in about 30 minutes. So that means you'll start to feel better in 30 minutes. So you took some pills. So as a consequence or as a result, you feel better. So you have to use effect with an E. Effect with an A. So an effect is to have an impression or influence on something, usually a verb. So the example, Mike's job loss greatly affected his mental state that evening, right? So there was an influence on him. Losing his job influenced his mental state. Lie versus lay. So we use lie when the object can do it itself. For example, I'm going to lie down or go lie down the couch. That means we are taking our own body and going to bed or going on the couch. Nobody is doing it for us. So when the object, in this case we're talking about ourselves, can go ahead and do that, then we have to use lie. We use lay when the object is being laid down. The object can't do it itself. So for example, I will lay the book on the table. So the book cannot mysteriously put itself on the table. You have to do that. You have to take the book and lay it down. So again, anything where it cannot do it by itself, this action, you're doing it, then we have to use lay. Next, many versus much. Many is used when referring to a large but definite number. Many refers to things that can be counted. So anything that can be counted. For example, I have too many sneakers. We're going to use many because we can count sneakers. Much is used when referring to something great in quantity, amount, extent, or degree. Much refers to things that cannot be counted, like time. You have too much time on your hands. You cannot say many time. Can we count time? No, we can't. We don't say one time, two time, three time. No, we don't count time. So we have to say much time. Than versus then. Than is used to draw a comparison. So we're using than with an A, T-H-A-N. For example, I like vanilla more than chocolate. So when we're comparing things, we have to use than with an A. However, when we use then with an E, it refers to time or at that time. I like to use this word meaning next. I think that's the best way to think about the word then with an E. For example, I will go to the store, then I will go to the gym. So it's like next. So we're talking about time. This happened, then this happened, then this happened. Not then. E. Rise versus raise. So note the difference in pronunciation. This is kind of similar to the one we did earlier with lie versus lay. Similar principles. So we use rise when the object is lifting itself. I often think of a helicopter. The helicopter will rise. But here's our example. I rise each morning at 6. So if we take ourselves, our human body, and we get out of bed, we are going to rise each morning or get up each morning at 6. However, we use raise when the object is being risen by another force. So for example, she raised her hand at the teacher's request. So what is the force? It's the teacher's influence on her. So maybe she said, okay, if you have the answer, I want you to raise your hand. So it's not voluntary that she's just raising her hand. So it's this idea that something is causing her or forcing her to raise her hand. So it's not literally that somebody's there and pushing her hand up in the air. So again, it's different than rise, where what we're talking about does it all on its own. With raise, there is some kind of influence or force causing that action. Okay, it is quiz time. Let's see how well you did. So we do have the free download for you. On the right is a copy of the commonly confused words. So not just the words in this videos, but many others. And also the quiz that we're going to take with the answers. I'm only going to take the answers referring to the words we talked about in this video. But if you want to take the full quiz and see how you're doing with this issue, you can download it and I have the answers there. So go ahead and just take the test and then mark yourself and see if you're doing well with those commonly confused words. So let's go. Let's look at the first question. Okay, this is from question 3 with many versus much. She had too many sweaters in her closet, or she had too much sweaters in her closet. Let's check the answer. The answer is many. She had too many sweaters in her closet. If you're not sure why we are selecting a particular word, you need to go back then and watch the explanation of why and when we use these words. Okay, we have the next 3 that are taken from the worksheet, 6, 7, and 8. The sugar had a negative effect on the science experiment, but is it effect with an E or effect with an A? Nicole has fewer or less shoes than Sarah. The gas prices continue to raise or rise. Let's check the answer. So number 6, the sugar had a negative effect on the science experiment with an A. Nicole has less shoes than Sarah. The gas prices continue to rise. Okay, let's look at 10 and 11. Cindy, lay the book on the table. Or Cindy, lie the book on the table. Number 11, John scored higher on the exam then with an E, I did, or than with an A, I did. Let's check the answer. Cindy lay, L-A-Y, the book on the table. John scored higher in the exam than I did, T-H-E-A-N, right? We're comparing, so we have to use the one with the A. So I hope you got 100% on the quiz. Again, if you want the full quiz and to see how you're doing in this area, you can download it for free on my Gumroad store, and also a list of other commonly confused words in the American language. It's a 5-page PDF. Please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching until the end. Please leave any questions and comments, and I will see you in the next video.